Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, May 6th at 11:11, and we are here for coffee and cards. And yes, it is Friday Eve. Good morning, sis. Good morning, everyone out there. If you're with us live or watching the replay, welcome. We read cards from the Spiritual Support for Entrepreneurs deck that I created with my friend Kathy Weiss. It is a 44 card deck with a 138 page guidebook. Yeah, it's a pretty thorough guidebook, which you'll see here in the picture. The guidebook goes through how to use the cards, why and how we created them, and each one of the cards has a multiple pages of insight, some even having what we call a navigation section, which the whole idea around the deck is to help you navigate through your emotions. So the navigate section is there for some of those tougher emotions, or when you are feeling like you're stuck there, how to move through them, not to avoid them, but to be able to move through them and pass them. Hey, Robert, how are you? Last week we talked a lot about, well, actually, last week or Monday, and then the week before, I think it was actually the Monday before, we pulled the same card for the collective, which was completion. So we talked a lot last week about completion, the past couple weeks about completion, both physical and energetic completion. Um, so it'd be interesting to see how everybody had that appear in their week so far, or how that has affected how you look at this week. Like, what are you observing about yourself or people around you? Let me know in the comments if you are here with us live. And also, I think it brought up some things for quite a few people. And something that I've been working on recently is my relationship and emotions surrounding money. And I think that's a great topic for us to talk about. So let me know your thoughts. What's your relationship, or when you think of money, how do you feel? What kind of emotion does that bring up? So think about if you do run your business, when you're putting out invoices or somebody doesn't pay on time, how do you feel when you have to send that email to remind them? Do you feel like it's just part of the process? You don't really have an emotional reaction, or do you feel maybe, oh, I'm bugging them, or maybe I shouldn't have charged that much, or whatever it is? Let me know in the comments. Whether you're watching live or on the replay, if you're watching this, let me know. It's just a really interesting concept to look at. Morning, Cheryl. How are you? And one of the bigger things I realized, I mean, I've been looking at this for a while, but in this past, I would say in 2021, one of my realizations was that it wasn't my story I had with money. So my story often was, I don't have enough, I'm not going to make enough, I have to save, 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 don't spend. But even when I wanted to or was going to buy something, the first thing I would convince myself of is I didn't have the money for it, whether I did or not. And I realized that that wasn't really my story. It's sort of a generational story that's been passed down through my family, through, I'm sure, lots of families. So anyway, I'm just interested to see what you guys think about money and the emotions surrounding that. And I will tell you that I have another deck on the back burner right now that is all to do with money. So that's another great reason to talk about that, because that can help, so I can support you better with that deck and how that comes about. So let's get started. So we talked about completion on Monday. Let's see what we have in store. Are we still looking at completion? Are we moving on? I don't really know. We'll see what the cards bring up. So I will shuffle the cards now, and we will pull a card. Yeah, money is always a juicy topic, isn't it? It's really interesting how we apply so many things to that. I know when I started doing my taxes, it became really obvious that my value was based on how much money I was or wasn't making. Um, yeah, it was really quite interesting. So, looks like the picture is kind of blurry on there today. Let me see if I can fix that. Robert says he doesn't like stressing people when they owe me, but when I really need that debt repaid and they don't pay, I feel extremely disappointed, right? Whew. This card jumped out while I was reading that. Let me see if we can get a little closer here. Our video quality doesn't seem to be great today, so let's just give it a second. Doesn't look like it's my camera. It is the stream. So let's just say, get it together. Anyway, there was a card that jumped out, and I also want to put this, the link to purchase the cards should be showing up now. You can click directly on that. It'll take you to entrepreneurauracle.com. Oh, this is crazy. Well, I guess it's not crazy. It's, okay, it's clear on your end. Good, Cheryl. Okay, I'll ignore it then. So we've been talking about money a little bit this morning, and it just so happens in this deck of 44 cards that as I was reading Robert's comment about stressing when people owe and all of that, a card fell out. And it's actually the only card in the deck that really addresses this. So look what we're looking at. Billing. To receive first, you must ask. So that's pretty cool that we're talking about money. And this is, like I said, the only card that specifically talks about money in the deck. And that is the one that fell out as I was reading it. Let's see. Billing, billing, billing. So isn't that, it's like they always know, the cards always know what we need. And this card actually has a quote that goes with it. So let me read that. It's from Harv Eker. Your income can only grow to the extent that you do. To receive, first ask. Money is positive and necessary for the successful running of your business and your life. Create clear rules and guidelines around payments due to you. Define this ahead of time for yourself. Ensure you are comfortable with your payment structure. For example, do you require a deposit before services are rendered? Is payment in full expected before a project begins or is completed? If you ship physical items, when are payments due concerning shipping? What is your refund policy? When, if ever, do you allow them? All this must be understood by you beforehand. Then, all of this must be understood by those you serve. Contracts and agreement policies are wise in the human realm, for this defines all parties involved, the expectations around money. Next, you must stick to your guns. If you utilize invoices, you must send them at the designated time or hire a payment specialist who ensures the prompt payment of invoices. The source of money is love. Dedicating yourself to the task of billing those you serve is an act of love and respect for yourself, money, and ultimately the good of all beings. Approach this task with energetic understanding that receiving what is due to you is an active exchange for the good you do in the world via your business. Expect positive, smooth results and celebrate with joy each time bills due to you are paid in kind. Receive all money with love, and money will love you back. If you are unsure, ask us how to include love in your billing and money cycles. So, what a great card. Let's see. What you guys think of that? And looks like we've got, let me just delete some comments here. Someone has into our little thing. So interesting that we get that card um, right when we're talking about finances. So Cheryl, I always say gratitude when paying bills. Yeah, and I never looked at it like that before, but I realized the negativity I attached to money. So if I was thinking money was bad, that in a sense was blocking it. Like, why would I want something bad to come to me? So there was some sort of idea in my head, whether it was something I created or that was sort of passed down in the thought process of, generations, whatever it was, it doesn't really matter. It was there. Why would I want something that was bad? So if I could look at money, like even the things I had to pay for, I joined a group where we talk about financial health, and it has a lot to do with the emotions surrounding money, and that has really been helpful. And my friend Kathy, who worked on this deck with me, does a money is love course, and she advised to every day when you wake up, you just say, money, I love you. You treat it as if it's like your significant other or like, your bestie or whatever it is. Like, just talk to it. Like, I love you so much. You were so great. And then in this financial group that I'm in, we talked about how instead of looking at like if you have credit card debt and you're paying those every month, appreciate that they trust you with this money that they have lent you. Like, isn't that really great? Like, you have allowed me to spend this money even though I didn't have it at the time. And how great of a trust and relationship is that? Like, and just looking at things differently in that way. But what this card really is saying is you've got to ask for it. So, for me, one of the things I've learned so many things running a business, but one of the things was being upfront and clear about expectations, whether it's, a deposit and then the date that the rest is due, or whatever the payment plan is. If you create that and just make that part of your process, it becomes less emotional. It's just a matter of fact thing. So on a lot of my web and design projects, it's, a certain amount upfront, and before like the website is launched, or after a certain amount of days, the rest of the payment is required. And just paying attention to whatever it is you're doing and what misunderstandings might come up, or where things aren't quite as clear, where you can add to your onboarding or your invoices or your not contracts, but your estimates. That's the word I was looking for. So being clear, being upfront, and you will be paid, whether it's in money, which is great and required. We all need a place to live, food, electricity. But it's also a great thing to show other people you appreciate them. For instance, Cheryl is creating and selling art. So if you appreciate what she's doing and what she's putting out there, you can show her by purchasing a piece of her artwork. Robert is putting together a crystal course. So if you appreciate what he is doing and you want to see more of that in the world, that's where you could support him. Sissy, I know, does tutoring along with some other things. So, there are ways you can show appreciation. Instead, like, I was always looking for a discount or how I can pay less. I didn't realize that I was sort of putting out that energy of even the people I was buying things from, I was sort of lessening their value. So, in an energetic way. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on that. And if you would like a card Let me know in the comments and I will pull some more. I definitely didn't expect to go the money route this morning, but clearly it's something we needed to talk about. So Robert or Cheryl or Sissy, if you were on, let me know if you'd like a card. I would be happy to pull that for you, and we can look at billing for you personally or your ideas surrounding money, or we'll just see what comes up in the cards. So if this is your first time watching, what we do is we pick a collective card, which applies to everyone, sort of in a, I don't like to say generic, but in like a broad way. So everybody can relate to this card somehow. And then we'll go through and pick a card for you personally that will build upon this initial card. So bring more specifics into the reading for you. So, okay, Cheryl would like a card. So let's get that going. You have a little bit of my beverage here. I'm actually having tea now. I had coffee earlier. And enjoying my, I think it's a tension tamer from Celestial Season. It's not that I'm feeling tense, but I just like the way it tastes. So anyway, side note, it is pretty cold here today. We had some days of like 80 or close to it. And it was pretty muggy. And today, I think when I woke up, it was in the 30s, maybe low 40s. So I guess that is spring, and you never know what you're going to get. Layers, I guess, is the key. So Cheryl, let's pull a card for you. And see. Just clear them up a little bit. Here we go. Alone. You are never alone, not really. This card, the picture actually was taken in Galapagos, so it's I don't think it's the Palo Santo tree in this one. It's one of the sort of cactus looking trees. I can't remember what they were called. Anyway, the idea with this picture is it appears that this is a picture of one lone tree, right? But if you were to actually zoom out of the picture that was here in this scene, you would see that there was other trees surrounding it. So the perception of the visual image is that this tree is by itself alone standing here. But in actuality, it's not alone at all. And this card, usually when you draw it, it's a reminder that you aren't alone. So even if you are physically sitting alone in your office, there are people on your side. So creating community like we do here together, calling up a friend. Oh, you got the same card this morning. That's awesome. So, okay, you're pulling the same card, essentially. It's a different deck, right? So, okay, so this is something is telling you something. So let me just read this to you. And this one also has a quote with it. Life is not what you alone make it. Life is the input of everyone who touched your life and every experience that entered it. We are all part of one another, and that is Yuri Kochiyama. Alone, in tandem, together, separate. These are words that refer to the human condition. You and I are one. We are source energy, a universal force found in all living beings. It is in our nature to share the same spirit guides and love. The divine spirit is part of you, as are your guides and our love. Therefore, you are never alone, not really, not in the divine sense. When you perceive that you are working alone and feel isolated, which actually is one of the keys that you'll see up here. Do you often feel isolated? And I find that's something that comes up a lot in being an entrepreneur working from home. When you perceive that you're working alone and feel isolated, reach deep into your heart, soul, consciousness, and seek solace in the divine community. Spend time in prayer, speak your needs, search for guidance. The energy that we share will point you in the direction of the experiences, people, and things you need for your success on the human platform. So when we say don't do it alone, meaning your work, we agree. Do your work in concert with all of us who share the same energy, and we will show you how to do the tasks you create on the physical realm and what tasks you invite others to do with you there. We know you mean in human form, and we correct you now and thusly. You are never alone, and you never do it alone, even when the perception is in your mind. So Cheryl, it looks like that's something, if you are pulling that even from another deck, something similar, maybe you need to start looking at that. That's usually your hello from the universe to sort of listen up, and also not just listen up, but hey, we're here for you. It's a reassuring message. So Robert, let's get a card going for you. And we'll see. This is perfect. Thank you. You're so welcome, Cheryl. I'm so glad you could join us. And I'm loving seeing your art that you're sharing and selling. And yeah, definitely you're not alone. We're all here at different times and in different places, but essentially we all hold space for each other. So, Robert. Let's see what we got going here for you. We are all connected. Yeah, it is a good reminder, isn't it? Yeah, and sometimes you pull a card and it's just to say, hey, you know what? It's going to be okay. Sometimes it's like, hey, get your butt in gear. Sometimes it's more of a, it's going to be okay. You've got this. Just keep going. There's people out there to support you. Just sort of that like hug or gentle reminder from a friend. All right, Robert. Teamwork. Each of you has a contract that you choose to subscribe to or not. So I know that what you've been working on, you've been building your course, you've been working on some investments, and all of those things require other people. All of those things do. So if you create a course, you need people to take it, right? So let's look at teamwork, and even reaching out or starting investments requires the people managing it or the platform, or, you know, in the sense of it's still needing other people. And there's a quote for this one. So it's interesting that we're picking all the cards with quotes today because they don't all have quotes. The biggest thing that I learned is when you're building something, especially a project that requires partners, you have to make sure that there is a lot of overlapping desire and a lot of overlapping alignment with people that you're doing work with. Andrew Zimmerman. Teamwork depends on your situation, your scale, your soul growth, your human desires, and your soul lessons. Each of you has a contract, an agreement of sorts, that you choose to subscribe to or not. You have free will and do not have to listen or follow the path, signs, and symbols we send. So on this topic, our answer is varied. Some of you will learn significantly by having what you call a team, people you bring into your life and assign roles and tasks to. This team will challenge your soul growth. This team is to bring awareness and light to your perceived areas of weakness and either propel your growth forward or shut you down. Do not worry, there is no wrong path in your evolution. Should shutdown occur, you will continue to learn. You will encounter lessons that will be packaged and disguised in such a way that you will simultaneously recognize and not recognize them. Some of you will continue to pursue your path alone. In this case, you will learn from your work and your business from others, for these are your life lessons. These teaching may be in communication, trust in self, assuredness you are doing the right thing, or conquering loneliness through deep engagement in what you create. The lessons are infinite and as varied as the number of humans on the planet. We cannot list them all, nor call them into one complete sentence. You must go within to unearth what is yours. On the subject of teamwork, we say this: what lessons are teamwork or the lack thereof teaching you? Learn and move on or do not. Supply meets demand. Lessons meet you on your terms. The teacher is there when you are ready to listen. Mm. And Robert is saying, interesting. Many of my projects require teamwork. Usually a one-man army trying to do everything myself. Sometimes I need other people. We always need other people. We have a perception we can do it all alone, but we really can't. Today you were a plumber. That's great. So awesome. Well, great. I hope that you got some good insight today, and I hope that you can go forward thinking about money and what your story is there, and if it is even your story or if it's somebody else's. Yeah, and just tell money you love it. And I hope you guys have a great day. See you back here Monday, which is the 10th, I think, at 11:11, and we'll pull some more cards and see where we're at. But I hope you have a great weekend and a great Friday Eve. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Moms, aunts, stepmoms, dog moms, adoptive moms, mother figures, everyone out there. So have a great day, and I will see you on Monday. Thanks, everyone. Thank you for coming. And don't forget to visit entrepreneuraoracle.com and get your deck. Thank you.